Hi, Dr. Paul Haider here. A lot of times we get sick or something happens in our life and we pray and we think we know the way we want the answer to come. Oh, I just want to be healed, or, allow our relative to get better, or allow their marriage to be healed, or whatever it is, and God, the universe, and Great Spirit has an infinite knowledge and has a lot more going on than we understand. So a lot of times the answers are not exactly what we were expecting. But at the same time, we must be glad and happy that they happened at the same time, and it's all good. One time when I had kidney disease, I couldn't walk across the street. It was so bad, and the only thing that kept me going was my qigong. And one day I just said, God, if you want to take me now, take me. I could just be with you. I mean, I'm suffering here. And then I was driving at the time, and all of a sudden, very shortly, it's just like this. All of a sudden, I come to a stop sign, and this lady comes over, and she's a beggar, and we have known her for a long time. We give her money on a regular basis, and she says, "You know what? I'm in terrible pain. I'm kidneys are shutting down. I'm on dialysis every day." And it was like, wow. I gave her some money and I said I would pray for her, and she was seeing the doctor, so that was good. But it was like instantaneous answer from the divine that came and said, "You're not so bad." why why are you thinking that you should leave this point? You're not so bad off. And so a lot of times the answer comes, but it's not exactly what we're thinking we want to hear. I know a couple in Canada, and they have a beautiful daughter, and she got married and ended up having a wonderful little boy, and that boy was beautiful. And the grandparents, they went down to see them in the States, and they were taking care of the baby so that the couple could go out. And so after a while, they got all kind of settled in. The couple did, with a new baby, and so they decided to go home. So they went back to Canada. When they got home, here's ringing on the phone. They got in really late. Ringing on the phone, and all of a sudden, their daughter's there, and he said, "The baby has died." And it was just like, wow, overwhelming, amazingly powerful feelings of, sadness and what did we do wrong and all those different things. And, sudden infant death syndrome is pretty common. And the grandmother was just beside herself, and she was going, "Why, God? Why didn't you take me? Why take the baby?" And you know, uh, I've been faithful to you all this time. And all of a sudden, in the middle of the night, you know, her deity, her guru, her love of her life came into her dream, and that deity was facing away from her at first in her dream, and then he turned around, and she was just like fell down to his feet, and then he held out his hand like this, and there was like white light that went out from his hand to her, and she just felt this elation come over her, this elation, this bliss, this contentment. And it was like, and a huge acceptance of what was supposed to happen, that there was many steps in between that had to be made, that there was some reason for all of this. And then all of a sudden she was a great relief that came to her. And this wasn't exactly what you wanted to see or hear or anything else. It was beyond her understanding, but it allowed her to find peace, allowed her to find a great contentment, even in the midst of, something that was so powerfully, what we might call negative. But, no souls are ever lost. All souls are going back to the light every single time. Dolores Cannon, which was a hypnotherapist, and she did hundreds of thousands of different past life regressions, and she found that we were almost all recycled souls. There were just a few that were new souls that were coming in on a regular basis. And so we get recycled on a regular basis into this process. So it's amazing. Brian Weiss also talks about this in his books, that we are recycled souls coming back life after life. There's a story of Shanti Devi, and she was in India, and she was 4 years old, and she went to her mother and father, and she said, I remember these people, being so far away, and that was my husband. And the parents go, I think she's making all this up. And so she went to school. She was just distraught, the little girl, 4 years old. So she went to school. She told her teacher, and the teacher went and told the principal. And the principal, he said, there's something to this. So he went and called that town that was about 150 kilometers away, and found the person by the name of that was her husband in that other life, and told him the story. And he was intrigued, so he decided to come visit the little girl and their family 3 or 4 days later. But he said, I'm going to tell them I'm the brother of the person. But as soon as the little girl saw the former husband, she just ran to him and said his name, and she knew his name. And she knew all the other people with him too. She knew the grandfather and the grandmother, and she hugged them all. She knew them by name. So, and then she went on to live a normal life. She only talked about this 3 or 4 more times during her life, but it intrigued Mahatma Gandhi so much that he created a commission to check this out. And this commission came back and said, we've thoroughly investigated this, and we believe that she is a recycled soul, that she is reincarnated as this new little girl. And she was the wife of this man. And as a little girl, she told the husband, you remember those promises you made on my deathbed that you didn't fulfill? Oh. So we have a lot to learn. Remember, a lot of times, God, the universe, and Great Spirit will answer us. It may not be the answer we're looking for, though. But if we look at it all as great, wonderful things, it's amazing. And if you ever have, a deity come into your dreams, that is just amazing by itself. You know how many people have that happen? Less than 1% in total. So if you have Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, or somebody else that comes into your dream, you're blessed. There's no doubt about that. So remember, Great Spirit works in amazing and mysterious ways. I love you.